Second question. While walking on ice, one should take small steps to avoid slipping. This is because smaller steps ensure larger friction, larger, smaller friction, larger normal force, smaller normal force.
Yes.
Yeah, answer is smaller friction. So actually there is no friction only, but to have a, like when you are stepping on the ice slowly and slowly, na, then what happens, there is a normal force, there is a contact is generated little bit, and there is a smaller and normal force is there, and smaller friction will be there, so that we can have a little bit of grip. So to have a little bit of grip, this we have to take the small steps. Okay, larger friction is not possible actually. On the ice surface, larger friction is not possible. Okay, and next, question number 3. A body of mass capital M is kept on a rough horizontal surface. Friction coefficient mu. A person is trying to pull the body by applying a horizontal force, but the body is not moving. The force by the surface on A is capital F. So that force values, they are asking what is the force, since the body is not moving, whether the force applied is F is equal mg or F is equal mu mg, or F is in between mg and mg is to the power of 1 square root of 1 plus mu square. So they are asking what is the capital F value, the force applied by the surface. It is not the applied force. Okay, it is not the applied force, it is a contact force, we can say. Okay, so already we have solved one example 6.1, that is applied for contact force expression we have already learned. May I know the contact force expression? Can anyone? I think in first like 1 or 2 examples only it was given. What was the contact force expression? Any one of you? Contact force that we got here. See here, square root of normal force square plus F square. So here normal force is mg and F is mu mg. So you just substitute, that is the contact force that you will get as square root of normal force square plus frictional force square. So you will get it as mg, you take common, then you will get mg as capital of square root of 1 plus mu square. That is the maximum contact force, we can say. That is the maximum contact force. Okay. So option C can be the answer. Option C can be the answer. If they ask what is the applied force, then option B can be the answer. But they are asking contact force. So maximum contact force is square root of mg whole square plus mu mg whole square. So that gives you option C. Okay. If they ask applied force, option B will be the answer, because applied force is equal to frictional force when the body is not moving. Is it okay? Any doubt? Fourth question. A scooter starting from rest moves with a constant acceleration for a time delta t1, constant acceleration for a time delta t1, then with a constant velocity delta t2 for time interval delta t2, and finally constant deceleration for the next to delta t3 interval, and finally come to rest. A 500 Newton man sitting on the scooter behind the driver manages to stay at rest with respect to the scooter without touching any other part. The force exerted by the seat on the man is. Please think about it. So in the first time interval delta t1 acceleration, delta t2. Very good, Varshit. Varshit, constant velocity means acceleration is 0. Yes. And delta t3 deceleration. So in the acceleration is 0 condition, net force is 0. Acceleration or deceleration. In the both the cases, net force is non-zero. Okay. Net force is non-zero. So at that time, net force is non-zero means some other force other than 500 Newton force should be applied. Okay. So option D is suitable. Greater than 500 Newton for time interval delta t1 and delta t3, and in the delta t2 net force is 0, net acceleration is 0, net acceleration is 0, constant velocity means, so net force should be 0, so 500 Newton only should act. So option D will be the answer. Next question. Consider the situation shown in figure. The wall is smooth, but the surfaces of A and B in contact are rough. The friction on B due to A in equilibrium. Friction on B due to A in equilibrium. They have given equilibrium means forces are equal or something like that. Net force is 0, something. So when it can happen, A is upward, B is downward, C is 0. The system cannot remain in equilibrium. So for this situation, is it possible that equilibrium condition can be taken place? Equilibrium means no net force. So what do you say? Manish Satvik is saying that, sir, they both are at contact, constant place.
Sir, that is typing mistake, sir. First one.
Okay.
Sir,
Yeah.
sir, the surface is told to be smooth, so there will be no friction.
Yes.
So the system will not be in equilibrium.
So they will slide.
If there is no friction, uh, then it will fall. Huh? What do you say? Since it is no friction, it will fall.
Yes, sir. Will fall.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. The friction on B due to A. Friction on B due to A. About that you tell me. Surface is smooth. Wall surface and A is smooth. That is okay. And in between A and B,
So B surface is
Sir,
rough. So
yeah.
yes, they, means they are having a force. Means between A and B, they are having a force.
Then
Normal reaction.
yes, sir.
yeah, normal reaction force A on B and B on A. That is okay. That is both are equal and opposite.
And the total system as a whole will fall under gravity
Yes, very good.
because the wall is smooth.
Yeah. Net force is downward. Net force is downward. So we cannot say, we cannot keep the system as in equilibrium. That is okay. Fine. So equilibrium means it should not fall or net force is zero. So it cannot be possible. The system cannot be in equilibrium. Then sixth question they are asking. Suppose all the surfaces in the previous problem are rough. The direction of friction on B due to A is upward, downward, zero, depends on the masses of A and B. If all the surfaces are rough, they are talking about. If the surfaces are rough, then friction on B due to A will act upward, downward, zero.
Sir, upwards.
No?
Upwards.
Why? Yeah, upwards only, because if you try to draw the free body diagram, no, weight acts on downwards. So the body B try to fall.
Sir, the frictional force of
Hmm.
A and B.
Frictional force in between A and B will try to move, try to apply upwards.
Yes, sir.
If it is kept on the horizontal surface, left or right will be, but it is kept on like
Vertical surface.
vertically. So that's why the frictional force will be upwards, since the net force is downwards. The movement is downwards, so frictional force will be upwards. Good. The next, seventh one. Two cars of unequal masses use similar tires. If they are moving at the same initial speed, the minimum stopping distance.
Sir, sir, option C, sir.
Okay, Varshit answer is option C.
And
Okay.
stopping distance means the distance traveled before coming to rest position, no, sir.
Yeah, very good.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sir,
Sir,
the
option C will
same
be the
means
answer.
same.
Yeah. So, if so, how come there is a frictional force, no? There are unequal masses. So unequal frictional forces will be the physical mu mg according to that. So what do you say about it?
Sir, that acceleration is independent of mass.
Acceleration is independent of mass. No. Acceleration is equal to F by m. So how can you say acceleration is independent of mass?
Means that is the limiting, that will be the limiting friction, that force of friction that is active.
No, little bit more clarity is required. Yeah, Varshit, I can hear your voice very clearly. You can speak out. Yeah. Yeah, okay. First, what you do? Stopping distance. First, what about that equation of motion which we will be using to find out the distance or displacement? What is the equation which will be?
So that third equation we will use v square minus u square is equal to x.
Okay.
Sir, v square minus u square is equals to 2as.
Okay, fine. S is equal to v square minus u square by 2a. Final velocity is
Sir,
0 for both.
0.
Initial velocity
Yes,
is
sir.
same in the equation.
Yes, sir.
But acceleration, is it same or not? That is also, that is important. So if acceleration is same, so option C can be the answer. But acceleration is same or not? How can we know it? That we need.
So that,
Like acceleration, you have to prove both the accelerations are same.
sir, your voice is cracking, sir.
You have to use, you have to show accelerations are same, then you can tell C is the answer. Like you take the equation F is equal to mu mg, that's it. Let us say first car force applied on first car is mu m1g, and acceleration will be mu m1g by mass F by m. F by m. So mu m1g by m1. If you do that, you will get acceleration is mu g, acceleration of the first car. And acceleration of the second car also, force is mu m2g by mass m2. So if you cancel m2 and m2, then mu g is the answer. It is not depending on masses. Acceleration will not depend on the mass. Acceleration formula is mu into g. Mu into g. Mu, friction coefficient, will be constant because similar tires are there, and g is also constant. So acceleration of the both the cars is constant. So stopping distance is also equal. The stopping distance is same since both the accelerations are same. The next, eighth one. In order to stop a car in shortest distance on a horizontal road, one should apply the brakes very hard so that wheels stop rotating. Apply the brakes hard enough to just prevent slipping. Pump the brakes, press and release. Shut the engine off and not apply brakes. So in order to stop a car in shortest distance, we have to apply the brakes hard enough to just prevent from slipping. So option B will be the answer. Option B is the answer. Okay. Next question. Like in this previous question, in this question only, if you pump the brake, press and release, the body slowly stops, but not suddenly stop. So option C cannot be. Option A is given very hard, but the reason is wrong. Wheel stop rotating just to prevent slipping. Friction related answer should be there here. So option B is the answer here. The next ninth one, a block A kept on an inclined surface just begins to slide if the inclination is 30 degree, and the block is replaced by another block B, and it is found that it is just begins to slide if the inclination is 40 degree. So what can be the option? Mass of A is greater than mass of B, mass of A is less than mass of B, mass of A equal to mass of B. All the three are possible. We have already understood. In the seventh question, we have already understood. So that acceleration, that stopping distance, whatever, it will not depend on the masses. That for A, B, C, all the cases it is possible only. All the cases it is possible only. But the only thing is, here we have taken frictional force as mu mg. Here we have to take mu mg cos theta. Mu mg cos theta. That's it. That is the only difference. And weight component also you should take mg sin theta. So acceleration is mu mg cos theta by mg sin theta. Acceleration is mu mg cos theta by mg sin theta. mg gets cancelled, so it is not depending on only. So acceleration is mu tan theta. Okay. So it is not depending on the mass for all the cases it is possible. So please try to remember, for the horizontal surface normal force is mg, for the inclined surface normal force is mg cos theta. Okay, that's it.
Sir,
Yeah.
sir, in seventh problem, I'm having one doubt, sir.
Yeah, please.
Sir, in stopping distance formula, retardation will be is equals to mu kg and acceleration minus mu kg, no, sir.
This is what? Once again?
Sir, in stopping distance formula, sir, retardation will be A is equals to mu kg, acceleration minus mu kg, no, sir.
Okay, you use that. You will get the same values, na? Even if you take the second equation of motion or third equation of motion, you see S is equal to ut minus half L square, or S is equal to v square minus u square by 2a.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so whatever it is, v is same, u is same, v is 0, u is same, a is also same. So even if it is minus or plus, the equation is same, values are same, so you will get both stopping distances are equal only.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, the next. A boy of mass capital M is applying a horizontal force to slide a box of mass capital M dash on a rough horizontal surface. Okay. So for example, 50 kg man Not 50 kg. Actually, we should not do. We cannot tell this. So one person is trying to move the box of some other mass on a rough horizontal surface. The coefficient of friction between the shoes of the boy and that person is mu, and the coefficient of friction between the box and the floor is mu dash. Okay. If mu is more, so in which of the following cases it is certainly not possible to slide the box? Not possible to slide the box. So if friction is more, number one condition, friction in between the box and floor and in between the man and floor. That you have to compare, number one. And masses also you have to compare. Option A, you see, mu less than mu dash. Mu less than mu dash. Mu dash is more. That means the friction between box and floor is more. Friction between box and floor is more than the friction between the boy and floor. So if friction is more, then mass is given m less than m dash. Friction is also more, box mass is also more. So in this case, little bit impossible. Like option A is little bit like a small boy is going and moving a very heavy mass and on a high rough surface. So it is little bit difficult, I think. Hope you have understood. Option A, a small mass boy is going and trying to move a heavier mass with a whose frictional force is even more. So it is very difficult. Option A, in the option A case, it is difficult. In option C, you see, frictional force in between the box and floor is more than the frictional force in the between the boy and floor, but they have given m greater than m dash. That means boy mass is greater than box mass. So it can be possible. But option A is not possible. Option C, you can move. With these conditions, you can move the box. Option B, you see, B and D, you see, mu is greater. Option B and D, mu is greater. That means boy and surface frictional force is greater. So it is easy to move. It is easy to move whatever the mass it is. If the friction is less between the box and the surface, then it can be moved easily. So B, C, D are possible. A is little bit impossible. Okay. Hope you understood the answer. Any doubts, please? Shall I go to objective 2?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So let us finish this also. Let us try to finish. First one we have to wait. You wait, please. We can finish all the remaining 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Second question. The contact force exerted by a body A on another body B is equal to the normal force between the bodies. The contact force is same as normal force. Then we conclude that Objective 2 means multiple answers will be there. Surfaces must be frictionless. Force of friction between the bodies is 0. Magnitude of normal force is equal that of friction. And the bodies may be rough, but they don't slip on each other. Yeah, contact force and normal force both are equal. Contact force and normal force both are equal. Then frictional force is 0 beta. Option B, Abhiram. That is one of the option. Then option D also can be possible. The bodies may be rough, but they don't slip on each other because net force is 0. Friction force, contact force is helping the bodies to keep one above the other like that. The bodies may be rough. Because of contact force, they are not slipping each other. They are not slipping each other. Okay. And since contact force and normal force are equal, friction force is 0. Friction between the bodies is 0. But since contact force is there, so that is helping the bodies to not to slip. Second one, option B and D are the answers. Next, third one.
Sir, third one option C, sir. Option C. Sir, third one option B, C, D, sir. Can I say?
Yeah, please tell, Varshit.
Sir, B. Sir, coefficient of static friction is always greater than coefficient of kinetic friction. Sir, coefficient of static friction is greater than coefficient of kinetic friction is greater than coefficient of rolling friction, sir.
Yes, very good.
It is, sir, mode option C, sir. The limiting friction is always greater than kinetic friction. Sir, indirectly they are saying that static friction is greater than kinetic friction, sir.
Okay.
Sir, because static friction is
the maximum static friction is limiting friction. The maximum static friction is limiting friction. Yeah. Tell next D. Why D is the answer?
friction is limiting friction, sir.
Why D is the answer?
Sir, we can say D.
Why D is the answer?
Limiting friction is never less than static friction.
Yeah.
Hello,
yes.
sir.
Correct. Can you hear me?
Sir,
Yeah. See, actually we have discussed one graph also. So, like when we increase the applied force, gradually frictional force will also increase. And at one particular point, the maximum static frictional force, at one particular point, the body changes its state from rest to motion, and that particular maximum static friction is called limiting friction. So limiting friction is always, see, static friction only greater than kinetic. So limiting friction is always greater than kinetic. And limiting friction is more or less than static. So C and D both are correct.
Static friction is less than kinetic friction, sir.
What, Manisatri?
So sometimes the static friction is less than kinetic friction.
Yes, option A is wrong. Why? Because if you see the graph, for example, on that day we have done one activity, 500 Newton, if you apply the force, then only it is moving. So if you apply 10 Newton force, then static friction is 10 Newton only. So net force is 0. Okay, static friction at that time is 10 Newton only. But kinetic friction, if you see, the kinetic friction value is of the order of some 300, 400. So sometimes static friction is less than the kinetic friction.